Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ginge Show. This is an emergency episode. No Pedro alongside me so far, and that's all right. Today, actually, we are doing something not part of our regular scheduled programming. As you can tell, we have a very special guest. He was scheduled to come on, I think, in a couple weeks, but we went ahead and pulled the trigger early today, so that's fun. He's launching his debut book, Samurex, bringing him out, the man, the myth, the legend, Nick Welch, alongside his partner in crime. We can't forget, boom, Rex Bean.
Yes, sir.
What's up, boys?
Hey,
The Mr. Rex.
All right.
how's it going, everybody?
Very nice. We got Jay. Hey, Jay. Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Hey, Jay.
I'm ready to
boys.
poop my pants, so it's a good thing I got those special ones on.
You doubled up, Nick?
No,
Yeah, just double it up.
that's fun, though. At least you could take the Adam Sandler approach. You're not cool unless you pee your pants. In this case.
Consider me. I'm just Miles Davis out here.
Okay. I'm like Miles Davis. So, yeah. Those are two of my favorite movies. The classic Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore combo. That's all I asked for my 15th birthday. Was those on DVD?
They're solid choices. You really can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Sandler in his heyday.
For sure. Okay, everybody. So real quick, I do have the link to the Indiegogo pinned in the chat. So for anybody out there listening, out in TV land, as they call it, let's go ahead and throw that up here. All right, guys, that's what this episode is about here. We're talking Samurex. We're talking launch day. So, Nick, buddy, go ahead and take it away, man. How you feeling? What are you thinking? You just hit the button. Tell us about it.
Oh, man, this is, it's surreal, man. I've been wanting to make comic books since I was like 8.
Mm-hmm.
And, never really got anything to the finish line. Could never decide what I wanted to make. Obviously, been working with Tyler over to, he's through Alterna with Red Koi. So I've been coloring with him, and I'm like, man, I got to get my book out there. I got to make it happen. I got to pull the trigger. And here we are, pulling the trigger, literally right now.
I like it. We're here. We're doing it. So let's talk a little bit about you artistically. So you're obviously a colorist, like you mentioned. You drew this book yourself, and you're also lettering. Is that correct?
Yeah, I am doing the whole enchilada with the help of Rex. He's providing some input, editing, community management, all kinds of cool things on his side. But yeah, otherwise I am the full creative force behind the book. I'm a graphic designer, art director by day, so I'm an artist for a living.
Very nice.
This is also a little bit in a different realm though than that. So
what?
Okay.
I mean, Nick, I know your story a little bit, but like you talked before about getting ideas for Samurex when you were still in high school. I mean, this is a long-term thing. What you want to tell everybody a little bit about that?
Yeah. I mean, going as far back. I mean, a lot of the design more goes back to that time period than the story necessarily. But yeah, it's funny. I mean, this particular iteration and the name just kind of came to me one day. I don't know why. I just woke up and decided that I needed to make a book about a robot bounty hunter named Samurex that had a little bit of a samurai flair, hence the Sam part. And that's just what he was called. That was it. There was no there was no ideation, testing names. Like this was like, it was, in a way, it was kind of a fully formed idea, like right out. So, and the idea was always he was going to be, it's going to be him against the corporate and political mechanizations. They were going to be working against him for a lot of different reasons. So yeah, I'm super excited that we pressed the go button here a couple minutes ago.
Sure.
Trying to get this
Absolutely.
mailing list email out.
So many things to do. Not. I actually really like the name Samurex. And sometimes things just hit you, and then it just gets stuck in your craw, and that's kind of it. But the name actually kind of works. I mean, the Rex, how people sort of use that as like a isn't that like a Latin version of like king or something like that? Yeah, Black Cat.
Yeah.
You're thinking the same thing. Rex means king, so maybe that's literally what I was getting at there. So there's kind of like a play a little bit.
I'll tell you the other thing that I like, and I didn't notice it or realize it until Nick was showing me some artwork one day, but his nickname is Sam. And man, I love that. Like, you think about like great characters in really good dramas. A lot of times they'll have, like a longer name that might be a little complicated, but like there's that shortened version or a nickname that like just hits. And especially, you got like, so Samurex, the character is like this, complicated, deep, complex, persona, but people call him Sam. And like that's so simple and like everyday that it's this really nice like juxtaposition.
Yeah, and when you find out, I'm not gonna give it away right now, but when you find out like why his name is what it is, it's in universe is kind of ridiculous. But yeah, it's just one of those kind of cool. I thought it was a cool, catchy name. So yeah, I was super excited to go with it.
There's also something about just the X at the end. Like, and I say that as a bean with an X at the end of my first name. Something a little mysterious about it.
It does sound cool. I mean, you could have went with the name X, I think, as well as Sam, just like X, something like that. But,
well, yeah,
okay,
that would be a cool. Depending on the character that he's interacting with, how they see fit to shorten his name.
Those who fear him call him X.
Those who fear him.
Yeah, that sounds like the start of a trailer.
Which I don't have, and I need to get a video up. But I just wasn't quite ready with the video. But I'd been building to this date, so I wanted to do it.
Absolutely. Okay, so let me get the Indiegogo page up. Here we go. I actually just backed the book, but it shows one backer. That's me. I got to be the first backer, so I'm actually stoked about that.
Love it.
But yeah, it didn't fill in the percentage. But oh, here we go. There you go. Hooray! I'm number one, baby.
You are number one, always number one in our hearts.
Thank you. All right, I will remember that and hold on to it dearly. Okay, so let's dive in here a little further without getting into spoilers. Could you tell us a little bit more about the character? Is this like an origin story, or do we learn that later? Could you sort of give us a little bit about who he is? Part man, part machine.
Yeah, so he's really, he's more than he's not just a robot. He's more cyborg, but in this...
He's more man than machine now?
What's that?
It's that he's more machine than man now, I'm afraid.
He's like an advanced android kind of life form. He's engineered, obviously. And his mentor, who is the last of a famous clan of bounty hunters, kind of finds him, or is led to find him, and he's found kind of in stasis, and brings him out, and he doesn't know who he is, or what he is, or how he got there, or anything, but he is fast and strong and smart. And so his his mentor decides to, train him in the family way, making him a warrior and a bounty hunter. So that kind of goes on for a while, and then his mentor is killed, and then the story begins, and he is hunting down the person responsible for killing his mentor, and he's also wrestling with the idea that he's been raised up on the culture of these bounty hunters, and they have an honor code, but what he really wants to do is just go kill this guy. So so the story goes from there, and he catches up with this guy, and hijinks and battles ensue.
Hey, I like it. So we're sort of on the hunt for the origin story in a way. We're gonna learn it together here.
Yes, and it'll slowly kind of rise up through the stories. Like, there's not like just hey, this is the origin story. Like, you're gonna see it in flashbacks and in little bits of within the other stories. But you'll have, you won't know a whole lot about behind it when the story's done, but you'll have a general idea about how he came to be Samurex, a bounty hunter, by the end of it.
Dig it. Very nice. I'm taking a look at some of the art here. The Tyler card. That's nice, man. So tell us a little bit about your color stylings, because I've always it almost looks like a digital watercolor in a way, maybe a little bit more on red koi in some ways, but it's just, you've got a really unique style. How do you approach the artwork on that, the coloring?
Well, that's a fabulous question. So, I hadn't colored a ton of things that weren't mine before taking on red koi. But I saw that, followed comics and was always messing around with my own stuff. And I saw Tyler was looking for a colorist for the book. And it was, he already had the whole book pretty much up in black and white. You could read it and see it. And I want to say too that Wes Loker had already lettered it and everything. But and he was talking with Pete about it, and Pete wanted him to put some color on it or some color washes, but he didn't really feel comfortable doing that.
We lost him. Like you heard the mic or the camera fall.
Nick just said, "You know what? You've heard enough. I'm out."
All right. I like it. He leaves us in suspense.
All teaser from there.
Yeah. No, you got to leave him wanting more, really. I have that problem. I talk too much, and then I'm like, I blow the mystique.
That's right.
No, he's an idiot.
I hear that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Nick's color palette. And I'll tell you, that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this particular set of work. There's something about that, for me, it's like early 90s, that bright blue and bright pink. And it's just like the right balance of futuristic plus nostalgia. That's what really draws me to this work, is that color palette. It's just so vibrant.
Yeah.
It's very, very eye-catching.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. There's really I think this is a good example of the vision of when, because I'm a writer and I'm an artist, but it's really just a hobby artist.
Sure.
One day I'd love to draw my own book. But just one thing to me that I find really interesting is this is kind of what you can do when you're in control of the full thing, is these little block sort of digitized squares. Nick's clearly got a vision from top to bottom for how this world is supposed to feel. So
yeah, completely agreed. And
cool
actually, you really, and that's a good thing to point out. So obviously, like Samurex himself and the characters have those, defined tight lines, but that digitization it's a mixture of two very different styles, and he does that very, very well.
Am I back?
You're back, man.
You are back.
I'm
back.
I'm so excited about this that I just ripped all of my cords right out of the computer. Yeah,
I get it. So, real quick, boys, let's say hello to the chat. There, I see some familiar faces. We got Benjamin Soto. Hey, bud.
my man.
Hey.
Hey, man, looking good, fellow nerds. We got Dave Brink. Hey, Dave. Thanks for coming by, buddy. Greetings, all you awesome.
Hello.
Dave, I sent a fellow Netherlanderers your way. I forget his name. I apologize, but the guy who's got an interesting book out, who's from your neck of the woods, and he doesn't have any real connections. So I don't know if he hit you up, but Ben says it's all part of his plan to leave you wanting more. Well, there we go. Okay, his neon colors are perfect for the genres, and he always adds great texture to the colors. There you go, buddy. We're talking smack about you, Nick. It's fine. Got Joe Catapano. Hey, Joey. Joey C. The Italian stallion from Orlando. Okay. All right, cool. All righty. So where were we, Nick? Talking about your coloring process.
Oh, yeah. So, coloring process. I mean, initially, I don't know why. And it's funny because I don't completely remember it, but I sort of do. But Tyler always tells everybody that I sent an email to him and said, hey, I want to color your book because I'm afraid if somebody else does it, they'll screw it up. Which kind of does sound like me because I don't know. Like it's just stuff, his ink washes and what he was doing. And I was like, man, people are just going to do way too much on this. And so we just connected and that was kind of the start of it. So I started doing his stuff. You mentioned I love the watercolor look. I don't do any watercolor, but obviously Tyler's ink washes, when I put colors on it, I try and make it look that way. And I really like that. I work this book is completely digital, but I like to make it look like it has a level of, hand drawnness or the texture of watercolor be whatever, know. So it's sort of how light these brighter colors are along the legs here against the dark blue. It almost looks like a wash of color on top of it or something. It's like they're so subtle. Very gentle. Yeah, so I especially with my stuff, I'm putting textures over top that are from all kinds of things. And I'll take photographs of textures when I see them. And then I'll Photoshop them and adjust them, or sometimes I hand paint them, digitally hand paint them. So I love that texture look. If you're familiar too, I mean, it kind of been involved with Jason Brubaker's stuff a little bit. I did lettering and stuff for him and was part of his community. And he uses textures on all of his stuff. His are all textures that he painted himself and then scanned in and stuff. And that's where a lot of that inspiration came from. But I've always been about the textures and just the grungy and all of that kind of look. So then when I kind of saw him work, when I used to watch him and participate in his live streams, that kind of really influenced me and certainly influenced my color style. But for whatever reason, I have a really, I just have a really dreamy color style. I don't really go towards realistic looking colors. I'm not trying to airbrush the edges of all the things. I really like just something that's just really, I don't know. I like bright colors and I like stuff that punches you in the face and just has texture. And stuff.
No, it's this right here. The trading card pack is another example, I think, of what you're talking about with the background here. It's just, very delicate, very soft, and very unique too. Gives it a real standout look. We got Joe here. He says, Brubaker, Brubaker is a nice guy. I read his book too. I'm not familiar with him. The only Brubaker I know in comics is Ed. Is there any relation to him, or
No, not at all.
Okay.
But
fair enough.
although I think he does know him. So I mean, Jason was he was an viz dev guy at DreamWorks.
Nice.
So that's kind of where he got his start. But then
And there he goes again.
Oh no.
Here I go again.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I can't pick this up because I don't know Brubaker's backstory. I do know that Nick has been working with and talking with and kind of, I'm going to say, relating to him as like a mentor for some time now. I mean, in terms of like how to kind of build around stories and how to position campaigns and how to like approach the process in general. I know that Brubaker's been a big influence on Nick.
I'm back.
There he is again.
All right.
Welcome back, buddy. Nick leaves us on the edge of our seat again.
I can assure you all that I have fired my tech guy.
Oh man.
That's all right. No, okay. So let's get a little bit into, without giving too much of this particular story away. Could you tell us a little bit about what we can expect out of this book? Is there a big bad guy, something like that, or without maybe spoiling too much? Could you give us a little bit about just a little taste, a little bit?
Yeah. So I mean, the primary bad guy is the guy he's chasing after. But he actually finds out once he catches up with him that he's actually close to death, and he's built himself an army of androids that protect him, the Skelterheads. But they also do bounty hunting for him, and so those are the primary antagonists, but there's probably, no less than 5 or 6 villains in the book itself. I realize that I jam-packed it full of villains and various levels of involvement, but once he gets past the skeleton guys, there's actually a bigger baddie behind them, because he finds out that his mentor's death is, it's more complicated than just one guy who pulled the trigger.
I see.
So, and they come to kind of clean things up. So he's got to battle kind of a robotic guardian as well as.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. As well as.
No, that was it. As well as the the Skelterheads and in the main bad guy. So.
I do like the term Skelterhead, though. I kind of want to be a Skelterhead. Just that's what I should refer to myself as from henceforth. I'm a Skelterhead.
Yeah, and I just really liked it as, like, obviously that image you're on right now is, I was man, I just want to draw a punk rock robot skeleton guy poster because it's cool and because I would want one. So why wouldn't everyone want one?
I was just gonna say that's a great band name.
Yeah,
like that's what you need.
Absolutely. So the script writing process, have you always been a writer as well, or is this your first time really getting in there and doing that, or could you tell us a little bit about that?
Creatively, like, I don't know, I can remember a buddy of mine and we were writing a comic book in like 9th grade, like we were always writing something, and I just, as a creative, I tend to have a bit of a flair for writing, although I struggle to write actual comic scripts, like the format. Like I really like writing like traditionally like prose stuff. So there is a story of that going to be in this book, which kind of gives you a little bit even more even more content. It gives kind of lets that sort of thing lets you kind of get in the head of the character, so you can kind of get in the head of Samurex a little bit. And that story is more about him trying to source some information about his origins. So, yeah, writing wise, I don't know. Just I've always been making up stories ever since I was a kid. So like that just came naturally, for sure.
We got Neo Star in the house. He says, "Skelterheads, rockalooya." Very nice. Thanks for coming by, Neo. Great guy. So I can dig it, especially being your own artist, writing in prose. It's really just more whatever best helps you visualize the storyline so that you can draw it yourself. You don't have to really worry about breaking it down into panels and handing it off to somebody like that.
Yeah, and a lot of it too, like I visualize the scene itself, and and then I'm kind of writing the details of the story around that, around what I like to draw. So,
right. No, and for me as a writer, sometimes in order just to get the idea out, or like there's been many times where sometimes I'll just like write it as almost as prose and like sort of lean into some of that element, like almost as if it were a novel. And then I know later I'm just going to go back through and grab what I really liked and, transfer that over into a script. So really just whatever is, works. Everybody's process is a little bit different.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good way to do it. Just to get, if you can get that story out and get it down, I mean, that's what I found. Like a lot of it is, like I've got dialogue, like I've got like digital files of dialogue that, the dialogue will just come upon me. Like I'll be, I don't know, sitting in line at McDonald's or something. I don't know. But, just write that dialogue and stuff when it comes to me. And then I know what the scenes are, but I'm definitely taking more of a Marvel method approach where it's not all dialogued yet. I'm going to kind of manipulate that, a little bit as it hits the page.
No, absolutely. And I think we talked about this a little bit the other day, but just generally speaking, like for me as a letterer working on my own stuff, that's the process I've gotten to now too. It's like if it doesn't slow me down and I can quickly jot out in the scripts, like in the actual paneling, what I want the characters to say, I will. But if it's something that's going to hold me up or slow me down, I'll just write what I want them to say and like the most, without trying to do it from their voice, just like, utility almost, just like this needs to be said here. And then when you actually get into the lettering and putting the dialogue on the page, like sometimes things don't add up, so you got to rework it. There's a lot of tweaking that goes into dialogue once it hits the page. So totally feel you there.
Yeah.
Okay, very nice. So Rex, how about you, buddy? Tell us a little bit about your creative background and history. Are you an artist or a writer, or?
So I'm the boring part of the Samurex team, that's for sure. My background, aside from knowing Nick in real life for 20 years,
Beautiful.
yeah. So my background is more in cryptocurrency and NFTs and helping to get projects off the ground and providing support for them. And so, Nick, like I said, has been a friend for a long time. And I've known that he's been working on this project and passionate about it. And when he finally got to the point where he's like, I want to do this, I could not help but say, what can I do to help? And for me, the draw of the project is a lot about the bigger vision and what do comic books look like in the future? What's the future of the industry? I know Nick's got a lot of passion around that too, and it's a place where we connect. And that's really how I approach this project. Like the art to me is incredible. And I say to Nick all the time, like, I just could never I don't have the skill set to do something like that artistically. But there's all these other things that go into making a project successful that, if you've got somebody really talented like Nick on the art side, and then you've got somebody that's willing to like look at how Discord servers work, or talk about how NFTs are minted, or talk about how, businesses are built, that's really where I fit in. So it's really a great partnership.
Mhm. Absolutely. And being indie guys, like that's really like one of the hacks to like being able to build out efficiently. I think like me and my partner Pedro, like I pretty much handle all the admin stuff for us so he can do all the arts. I sort of come from a businessy background. I've been in sales, various types of sales. So it's like it comes with natural and, stuff that makes sense anyways. But even still, it's like there's times where it's like, I wish I had the cash to hire some of the stuff out to other people too. It's like,
sure.
Yeah, time is time is money, really, even in the indie scene, maybe even especially.
Yeah. Oh, especially because, every minute, not to make it too simple, but like every minute that, Nick has to deal with some type of, administrative whatever, that he would be better suited thinking or creating. Like that's, if there's something that I can do to help make those things happen so that he can be developing story or whatever, then that's time well spent. And frankly, I'm always appreciative when he pulls me in for conversations, because I do have a lot of passion around, I'm a big sci-fi guy. So like when, when we're talking about Samurex, I'm thinking about, Isaac Asimov and his robots and, the humaniforms. And, it really touches a passion of mine in the sci-fi scene. And so, yeah, to be able to have those conversations it's great. I mean, it's, it satisfies me. It scratches my itch. And then in turn, I'm able to help Nick get what he needs to get done.
I like it. Very nice. Sounds like a fantastic partnership, boys. I like it.
It is good.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about some of the additional items here, and then let's talk about, this is a good segue here. What is the book? So you're doing a magazine-sized book. Could you tell us a little bit about that, Nick?
Sure. Yeah, I just I've had a fascination here for a little while. It's more recent, but with I've been like buying up old copies of like heavy metal, and I don't know if you're familiar with 1984 is another one. It's like anthology books. The one I have here has like Steranko in it. Did that? I don't know if you're familiar with his adaptation of the Outlander movie. And just super, super cool. It's not, you can't like get it, like you can't get it anywhere. Like it's not collected anywhere. Like it's like collected in like Italian or something. But even then, like you can't find those books. So like if you can find the like that like late 1970s, very early 80s, and I just really love the what those books are, So I'm really building this book out to be similar, so it feels sort of like an anthology. There's going to be advertisements in it, but the advertisements will be entirely like in Samurex world, so it'll kind of like give you insights to the technology and what's going on and stuff. But overall, the book will still have like that, those different elements to it. So I just and I really like working in. Almost all of my pages are like double page spreads. Like I like these really wide open
Nice.
landscape scenes and stuff. I just like to draw that stuff. So very inspired by, Jack Kirby and his 2-page spreads.
Right.
So yeah, I just decided I wanted to do something different, and I really like the format. I like the magazine size, so just decided to go for it.
Very
So
nice.
Nick,
buddy.
what does I saw this earlier when we were talking about the IGG. What does a lived-in feel mean? What does that? Could you describe that?
So when I say that, I'm kind of like throwing to Star Wars. It was like the big thing with the original Star Wars when it came out, is that like the Millennium Falcon is like rusty and like junked up and like, that like
Gotcha.
lived in, like everything's not like, Space 2001 and Odyssey. It's not like Star Trek where everything's like super high tech, polished, futuristic, like everything's really like, when I draw technology in the book, like I draw everything like it was invented for a sci-fi movie in like 1978. Like everything has a really analog look to it.
Right.
Everything's
like Alien or classic Star Wars, and how that technology sort of just reflected its time period.
Yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I'm kind of calling out to when I wrote that in the campaign description. If that helps.
Yeah, it does. I mean, and you're absolutely right. It's funny when you said it's not perfect, and then you referenced 2001: A Space Odyssey. That that's what I thought of before you mentioned it, because yeah, like you watch Kubrick's movie and it's like beautiful. Every hallway, every spacesuit, is pristine, and yeah, that's a really good comparison.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, I'm not spitting in the face of that, but I just really like the other thing, the Mos Eisley Cantina, like,
right,
like that's what I just groove on, just
I feel you.
Dark, dusty mixer. Let's see too here. I can bring up a couple of pages and share.
There's never been a more wretched hive of scum and villainy. That's what you're into.
Exactly.
Well, and it seems like. Oh, go ahead.
And that is definitely this book. I mean, it's, I mean, some of these people are going to be good guys, but everybody's like, everybody's got an angle.
I like it.
And that's not what I wanted.
It almost seems like that approach, now that I know what the term means, it seems like that lived-in feel approach probably helps with character development too. Because in those more pristine universes, I think about like Star Trek, and especially like Next Generation, which again, to definitely reiterate what you were saying, Nick, like not a slight to that, but like it feels like there's only so much you can do with a universe that looks like that, because you don't have deterioration, you don't have age, you don't have decrepitation, creeping. So
you can see here that like this page where you got some old fence here.
Yep.
And I enjoy drawing this, like I enjoy drawing fungi. So I just decided I was going to start,
because you're a fun guy, Nick.
Just a gigantic mushroom growing out of the building. Like, so even though you've got this setting where it's, it's just city for city,
right?
Like the organic in everything, because I mean the idea really too is that the Corvus clan, which is what Samurex has been adopted into, is actually been around as bounty hunters for 1,000 years. So this is really, really far down the hole, and you're, as the stories go on, you'll start to, kind of peel away all of those layers and see where everything started. But to kick it off, definitely, you're seeing this grungy, grungy world.
That is, that the texture and the layering. I mean, it does. Maybe I'm crazy for saying watercolor, but it does really give that look. Like right next to that little robot, that little pink and bluish thing right there, and it's just right next to it, that little splash of color. Yeah, that.
Yeah, and some of these, I mean, I have textures in here that are stuff that like I made watercolor textures and put over stuff.
Yeah.
Right
on, man.
Yeah, it's just,
So is the whole book drawn?
So this
has all the art done, or
is really close. And that was done on purpose because I didn't want to run a campaign for a book that wasn't done. Like I just wanted to know when the campaign kicked off that this was a thing. I was going to know what it was going to be. And so it's going to be, I'm probably going to add 2 more pages. It's probably going to be 36 pages of comic. Although depending on how the month goes, I got designs and some additional stuff. But it's like 30 pages are pretty much done, but it needs to be lettered and stuff. So
very nice.
But this is
Joey makes a good point here, and I don't know if I can call him Joey, so I'll just call him Joe for now. But Joe says, got to put some of those pages on IGG, and he follows up. I don't think a ton of people will back without seeing some materials.
Yeah,
I think that is a good point. Maybe just pick a couple of your favorite pages and let people get a little taste of the goods, if you will.
Yeah, no, and that's my intention. And so I picked this date, and I knew I wanted to get a campaign launched early enough that since it's done, I think I can have it printed and shipped and in people's hands by the end of the year.
Beautiful.
If I just stick to a 30, I mean, I'll probably let the it go to in demand and stuff. But I mean, my plan is to send the book to print at the end of October. I mean, early November. But so because of that, I'm still the setting up the page for Indiegogo ended up being way more work than I anticipated.
Yeah,
like, that is a whole freaking job to itself. Like, wow.
Yeah, there really is a lot to it, and it's the other. I'd say FMC Fund My Comic is the most streamlined. They kind of took the best of Kickstarter and Indiegogo and just condensed it down. But it absolutely is a something you have to dedicate a lot of time to, for sure. It's the admin stuff again. Like, absolutely. Joe chimes in here. He says, "Yep." So no.
Yeah,
I definitely feel you though, and I had a point I wanted to make, but it's escaped me. But this is fantastic stuff, buddy, and definitely love the art. I know we picked up another backer over here. Let's give her a refresh. All right, so we're still 2 backers, but $134. Hey, chugging along.
Yeah,
very nice.
Yeah, I gotta get sharing it out here. Obviously, my first campaign email I just sent out was screwed up, so I'm gonna send a new one with more info to everybody. And really, I just want to shout you out. I really appreciate your involvement. You streaming with us here tonight and being involved in the community and stuff. I really value your expertise. And having somebody to ask questions to, probably stupid questions, but questions nevertheless that you graciously answered.
Yeah, no, I've said it before. I love talking shop. It's just fun to do. But I'm always happy to help. And expertise is a bit of a stretch, in all honesty. But I'll take the compliment. So thank you.
Yeah, definitely appreciate having you in the community.
Yes, absolutely, buddy. And actually, real quick, just to let people know, y'all do have a Discord, a SAMUREX Discord. It's on the website. I forgot to link it in the video description, so let me grab that real quick. I'll give that a share.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's open for anybody to join. You don't have to obviously back the book or anything, just go to the website or find the link and come on in. You'll find Brenda talking about cats a lot. She's been
For
on
sure.
that. Yeah.
We need that.
Okay.
We need Brenda in there with the cat stuff, just to keep us grounded or not grounded, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, depending on how you look at it. Yep.
But I actually think you could get the book done this year, even if you just lettered 1 page a day. You know, if it's 36 or 38 pages of story content, the math is there. It doesn't really take that long to print. I guess it depends, but the times I've had to go to print, it's been like 3 weeks, maybe a month on one book, but the first one was like 2 weeks and I got them back. So it just depends, but it's usually pretty quick.
Cool. Yeah, that's the hope. And some of the stuff, because of the nature of my day job, I'm able to get like the trading cards and stickers and all of that stuff. I can get through my job too so that's going to be big. So I know how quick I can get stuff there. I know what that looks like. So
I like it. So we do have some additional, we'll go over the tiers before we call it for the day, but I do just want to take a look at some of these additional things here. So tell us about the trading card pack. What was the thought behind this? Have you always wanted to do trading cards, or could you tell us about it? Or?
I mean, yeah, I hadn't thought about it until I was starting to set up the campaign more and start thinking about that more. And I'm like, man, trading cards are cool, man. They're a lot of fun, and to be honest, it's something I can get through my job pretty reasonably priced. So I'm not going full on like have them made and inserted in the foil. Like the packs will be like hand wrapped, but
nice.
There's also going to be I'm having made these metal trading cards. Like I have somebody that's going to laser on one side, and then a buddy of mine owns a sign shop, and he's going to like custom print the graphics for the other side, and I'll like sign them and number each one, and then we'll put the laminate on over top, and then I'll put them on the card. So I'm gonna put in those trading card packs. 3 of those packs will randomly have one of these metal trading cards in it.
All right, you're like a Willy Wonka of sorts over here.
Exactly.
Like somebody's getting the golden ticket.
But then obviously you can buy the tier with the metal card. But yeah, so I'm gonna be rolling out more of that stuff each and every day as we hug to the finish line.
I like it. Very nice. I saw some. Here we go. We got Tyler Wentland. So this is original art. So this can actually be purchased.
Correct.
This piece right here.
Yep.
Very nice, bro. Then we got some Ben Soto art. Shout out to Ben.
Yep.
Love this right here.
Man, he killed that. That was so much fun too. Coloring that.
Man. Yeah, what a great.
So that's going to be. Those both are trading cards. And I have more stuff I'm going to reveal here. I have a card from, I don't have the original art, but I have digital art from, wow, my brain just broke. Washington.
Frankie. Yeah,
Frankie, how can, man, I feel like an idiot. Yeah, Frankie Washington, which he did one of the Skelter heads. That's just, man, it's going to break everybody's brain. It's super cool. So,
yeah,
I'm going to be releasing that here shortly. So yeah, the trading cards are going to be super cool, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Frankie is among the most professional people. My first campaign, I hired him. Actually, that little icon right there, that little guy holding the book, that's drawn by Frankie.
Oh yeah,
it was like a patch he did for it's the villain on my first book. So, real pleasant gentleman. That guy, great professional. Okay, so let's take her up here to the top real quick. And for all those that are out there in TV land, I'm going to go ahead and drop the Indiegogo link one more again. Y'all got to back this book. I'm not even going to ask. I'm just going to tell. And I don't usually do that, but I'm going to do it today.
Do it.
back to book. I'm just kidding. But that is in the chat for everybody out there. Ben says he had fun drawing the character. It's a very just classic samurai pose. Very nice. Joe says, "Get great vibes from the interiors, dude." That's quite a compliment because Joe's
I'm definitely gonna roll more of those out there onto the page here as soon as we get done. So it is a good suggestion, and I'm definitely doing that.
Okay, so let's. We can't end the show without going over the tiers here, the perks. So we've got the digital. Tell us about this. Take us from the top, buddy. We've got the digital for $10. What was the thoughts on that?
Well, I know, to be honest, originally I didn't even necessarily want to do just a basic digital tier, but I know there's a lot of folks overseas that have troubles getting the physical shipments and stuff. So, slip that in there. That's just going to be, a PDF for them that they can get. I'm gonna make up some like wallpapers and stuff to go with it, and some special digital rewards there for those folks.
Yeah, no, the digital, that's kind of what most people get to. It's like the international shipping is difficult, and so doing a digital, just having a digital as an option for those people is
yeah.
But a lot of people don't like digital. I read digital from time to time just when I have to. It's like, do I prefer physical? Yes, but digital's grown on me just working in this capacity with comics, like sort of seeing the other side of the usefulness of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so then we go to the actual physical book, right?
Yep. So then, jump right to the physical book. You'll base tier. You'll get a book. You'll get that Tyler Wetland trading card, and you'll get like a random sticker, Samurex sticker. So
very nice. Looking forward to that. Okay, and then we've got the Samurex fan. So then you get the Skelter head poster as a print, right?
Yeah, you can either get the print of the Skelter head, or you can get. There's going to be a Samurex one that I'm still finishing up. So I wasn't sure. I don't know. People like mystery stuff. I didn't know. You know what Samurex looks like. Do you want to wait and find out when you open it up what it looks like, or whether I roll it out during the campaign? So.
No, if anything, at least just giving it some time to breathe and saving it as like some potential promo for down the road is always still a good idea. Like drip feeding, more exciting stuff throughout the duration of the campaign, as opposed to just, sort of busting a nut too early there. Pardon my language.
Yeah. No.
Okay. So
trading card pack. You get the print, and you go up and you get both prints. You get the get 3 of the trading cards. We're probably gonna have like
speaking of busting a nut,
8 or 10 of those different cards in the packs. So we get some very.
So are those going to all be different characters, or is there like fight scenes, or have you decided yet? Is that too hush hush, or?
It's still a little hush hush, but no, there's definitely like when I unveil Frankie's card that he did, that's one of the cards that's got the Skelter heads on it. It'll have characters on them, but we'll have some other stuff too. And there's additionally a couple of stickers in the pack. But yeah, the cards are going to be a couple of different things. Might do like a set kind of thing. Where you get one, one's got the one half, got a cool art on one side, but then the backside matches up with another backside kind of thing.
I see. So you put them together and it would all be one image?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes it fun to collect.
For sure. Okay, so we've got the Samurex Fanatic here. Tell us about this one.
Yeah, so you get all the things there. You're going to get the book. You're going to get the prints. You get the trading card packs, and then of course the metal trading card. There's only going to be 10 of those. Obviously, 3 of them I'm going to put into the trading card packs, that you can get randomly, but then the other 7 are available in that tier to get all of those. Kind of custom thing.
All right. Now, sadly, that I've got a golden ticket just stuck in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so continuing on here, we got the Zealot.
Yes.
This adorable little doodle here. What do we got?
So yeah, so this we're gonna do. I'm gonna do like 10 with a sketch cover on it, and then I will do 10 custom covers for anybody that wants to come in at that tier, along with all of the other shenanigans.
That is actually really awesome. The custom cover, like, so you're like on a blank cover for the book, you're gonna do some art.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice, bro.
So do a custom sketch cover, and then you also get a reader copy as well, obviously.
Right. That is fantastic, actually. That is very cool, yeah. Okay. Looks like we already got a backer there. 1 out of 10. Very nice. I hope these fly off the shelf here.
Yeah.
And we got the super fan.
Super fan. Yeah, and then, you know, we're gonna, so it's got kind of all of that jazz, but I'm gonna draw you in the book, and yeah, that's gonna be fun. Hopefully somebody gets in on that, because you can be one of the characters in the Most Nicely Cantina kind of situation.
I like it. Sitting there with aliens drinking who knows what, smoking who knows what.
Sure.
Watching wherever your hands go. Yeah, Joe Catapano, he says, "Gotta run. Best of luck with the launch, guys." Hey, Joe, thanks for coming by.
Yeah,
man.
thanks, Joe. Appreciate it.
Yep, thanks, Joe.
Yep, great guy, great artist. Okay, wonderful. So we're actually coming up on an hour here. We'll bring it back up to the top here. Let's see, do it another refresh. Hey, got another backer. Yeah. Very nice.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you, everybody. That's backed for sure. Okay, boys.
Yeah.
What else? What else should we add? Do you guys have some parting words for TV Land?
Yeah, nothing for now. Just I'm just gonna keep hammering it. We're gonna keep releasing this art, and I'll be releasing, you know, trading card designs and the whole thing. We're on with Ben Soto on his show tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, just stay tuned.
Nice.
Like I said, the book's drawn, so needs to be lettered and finished up is all. So.
Oh yeah. But so essentially, really no risk for those out there. He's the one-man show. He's doing the whole thing himself. The book's drawn, colored, I assume, as well would be the case.
Yeah.
As well, since you're doing that.
Yeah. So we're like, you know, 30 pages are drawn and colored.
There we go. Beautiful.
So it's not going to take a year to get.
No, I was just going to thank everybody for joining us today, and thank everybody for backing the campaign.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's see here. Peter, Captain Fenity. Hey, buddy. Thanks for coming by. A little whiskey. I've got a water bottle. Liquid IV. It's delicious. All right. So that'll be it for the show then, guys. I'll drop the link one more time. And y'all out there, if there's anybody in the rewatch, definitely back the book. Don't even think about it. Just go ahead and do it. Was there a 24-hour thing with this campaign? I forget. Was that were you doing like a 24-hour launch variant of any kind, or?
No, actually, like a early bird kind of thing. You mean?
Yeah, I thought there may have been, but I just might have.
You know, that was something I thought about doing, and then just got so crazy trying to get things set up, it kind of slipped my mind.
No, I get it.
But now I'm like, okay, how do I even do that? I don't know, but I know sometimes you see like certain tiers on sale or something. Is that a thing? Am I making that up?
No, but I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure with Indiegogo you can add a tier later. So, you know, this just sort of hit me now. A lot of people do their 24-hour variant at the start to like generate that excitement on launch day, but really, like, people typically run a campaign that maybe at the end of your 30 days, do like a final 24-hour variant or something like that. You know what I mean? Okay,
Interesting.
cool.
Yeah, cool.
All righty, boys. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. It is seriously an honor getting to launch the book with you guys. So I definitely appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep,
Yeah,
thanks
man,
for
I
having
am
us.
indebted to you. So
No, I will take you up on that. Then now you've given me a life debt. No, okay. So thanks to everybody that came by. Neo Star, you're a great guy. Captain Fenity, what's up, bro? Joey, everybody. Okay. We will see y'all next time on the Ginge and Pedro Show.